From their silent, cloaked vessel high in the stratosphere, the Xylos observed Earth with a detached curiosity, their advanced sensors capturing every detail invisible to the naked eye. They hovered above, unseen and undetected, their technology far surpassing anything on the planet below. Below them stretched a world of relentless competition and raw power, a living tapestry where every creature fought for its place, and survival was never guaranteed. For countless cycles, the Xylos catalogued the planet's dominant life forms, marveling at the cheetah's explosive speed, the shark's ruthless efficiency in the ocean's depths, and the wolf's intricate social structure, which allowed them to hunt and survive as a unified pack. To the Xylos, Earth was a grand theater of survival, where strength, instinct, and adaptation ruled every moment. The drama of predator and prey played out endlessly, each scene more fascinating than the last. Yet, one species confounded them: humans. Unlike the other animals, humans did not rely on brute strength or natural weapons. Physically unimpressive, lacking claws, fangs, or armor, humans seemed fragile, an evolutionary anomaly, outmatched by nearly every predator in direct combat. Despite this, they built vast cities, reshaped entire landscapes, and thrived in every biome, from scorching deserts to frozen tundras, using tools, cooperation, and intellect. In a contest of pure physical ability, the Xylos believed a human would fall to any apex predator, their bodies no match for tooth and claw. Their protocols demanded they identify the planet's ultimate terrestrial predator, the creature that reigned supreme in the wild. After exhaustive analysis, comparing strength, speed, cunning, and adaptability, they selected a single, formidable beast as Earth's apex carnivore. This creature embodied the wild's untamed spirit, a living symbol of nature's raw power and unpredictability. It commanded fear and respect from all others, its presence sending ripples of alarm through the animal kingdom. The Xylos turned their focus to this animal, eager to understand the true limits of its power and to unravel the mysteries of Earth's most formidable hunter. The Xylos' apex predator was Ursus arctos horribilis, the grizzly bear. Towering over 2 meters and weighing more than 360 kilograms, the grizzly was a fortress of muscle and fur. Its jaws could crush bone, its claws could tear through flesh, and its senses were razor sharp. The Xylos watched as wolves and mountain lions yielded to its dominance. Omnivorous but fearsome, the grizzly's predatory prowess cemented its status. Despite its bulk, it could outrun any human, reaching speeds up to 56 kilometers per hour. In every simulation, the unarmed human was swiftly dispatched by the bear. The Xylos saw no challenger, certain the bear was the pinnacle. Their case seemed closed, but the planet had one more anomaly to reveal. Into this wild, ancient domain walked a single human, Ilara. She was alone, yet her presence seemed to fill the silent spaces between the trees, her footsteps soft but purposeful on the mossy ground. The Xylos, hidden and watchful, scanned her. Average build, no visible weapons, nothing to suggest she was a threat. She carried only a weathered pack and sturdy boots, the marks of many journeys etched into their fabric and leather. Ilara moved with quiet confidence, pausing often to study the delicate patterns of plants and the subtle imprints of animal tracks, reading the forest as if it were a familiar book. To the Xylos, she appeared vulnerable, a solitary figure dwarfed by the vastness of the wild, her isolation making her seem fragile. In their calculations, she was a certain casualty in bear territory, a mere statistic in a place ruled by predators. Their data classified her as prey, her every movement tracked and analyzed, her presence flagged as a high-risk anomaly. She was an outlier, a puzzle the Xylos could not quite solve, her calm in the face of danger unsettling to their algorithms. Yet, what their sensors missed was her mind, her deep knowledge of animal behavior, her practiced survival skills. Ilara read the land, moved silently, and anticipated the rhythms of the wild. She understood the subtle warnings of the wild, the shift in birdsong, the faintest rustle in the undergrowth, the language of the forest itself. The Xylos prepared to record what they expected would be a swift, tragic event, their equipment ready to capture every moment. But they could not quantify experience, ingenuity, or the resourcefulness that comes from a lifetime spent learning from the land. Nor could they measure the deep instincts passed through generations, the wisdom inherited from those who walked these forests before her. Ilara's true weapon was invisible to their scans, her intuition, her adaptability, her unshakable resolve. She was not just a visitor, she was a student of the wild, a quiet observer, and a part of the living landscape. The Xylos were about to witness something unprecedented, a human who would not only survive, but thrive, in the heart of the unknown. The encounter began by chance, Elara and the grizzly converging along a creek. The Xylos' models predicted a fatal confrontation. The bear, foraging, was unaware of Elara until a shift in the wind carried her scent. Instantly, the bear froze, nostrils flaring, adrenaline spiking. With a low growl, it pushed through the brush. Elara, distracted by a rare orchid, heard the branches crack and tensed. The Xylos expected panic, a desperate flight that would trigger the bear's chase. But Elara did not run or scream. She rose slowly, eyes fixed on the sound. The bear emerged, massive and imposing, less than 30 meters away. Human and predator faced each other in a silent standoff. The Xylos watched, their models already failing. Elara's calm was the first anomaly, a deviation that unsettled the observers. The outcome was no longer certain. The grizzly rose on its hind legs, roaring. A display meant to terrify, to assert dominance over any creature that dared cross its path. Its massive form towered above the undergrowth, claws glinting, breath steaming in the cool air. The forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the inevitable. The Xylos, observing from their hidden vantage, anticipated Elara's collapse into fear. They had seen countless species freeze or flee in the face of such raw power. Instead, she stood her ground, refusing to yield. Elara raised her arms high, making herself appear larger and more formidable, a silent challenge to the bear's aggression. She spoke in a loud, steady voice. "Hey bear! Whoa bear! I see you! I'm just passing through." Her words cut through the tension, echoing with calm authority. Her tone was assertive, not submissive. There was no panic, only a clear message. She was not prey, and she would not run. The bear hesitated, its instincts momentarily disrupted by her unexpected behavior. It blinked, uncertain, as if recalibrating its understanding of the situation. The Xylos were baffled. This was not prey behavior. They exchanged glances, their models of earthly life suddenly inadequate. Elara moved sideways, never turning her back, maintaining eye contact and speaking calmly. Each step was deliberate, signaling both respect and resolve. This was a survival strategy unknown to the Xylos, standing firm, signaling confidence, de-escalating the threat without violence or panic. The bear's instincts faltered, unsure how to respond to this calm defiance. It shifted its weight, torn between aggression and retreat. The Xylos struggled to categorize this new tactic. Their data had never accounted for such psychological negotiation. It was neither fight nor flight. Elara's response was something entirely different. A third path, blending courage and communication. Elara was communicating, using psychology rather than strength. She was reading the bear and letting it read her in return. The standoff shifted, the rules had changed. The air was thick with possibility, as both human and bear weighed their next moves. The Xylos realized they were witnessing something outside their models. Elara's actions defied simple explanation, hinting at a deeper intelligence. The outcome was now unpredictable. In that moment, the forest was silent, the future unwritten, and the Xylos watched, captivated by the unfolding mystery of human resilience. The bear, still uncertain, made bluff charges, testing Elara's resolve. The Xylos predicted her to break, but she remained calm, analyzing the situation. Her retreat had not deterred the bear. She needed a new tactic. Spotting the creek's stones, she crouched, picked up two large rocks, and slammed them together. The sharp, explosive crack echoed unnaturally through the valley. The Xylos dismissed the act as futile. What could rocks do against a bear? But the sound startled the grizzly, disrupting its world of familiar noises. Elara repeated the action, the noise even louder. The bear recoiled, its instincts overwhelmed by confusion and fear. The Xylos registered a spike in the bear's stress levels. Elara had weaponized her environment, using sound as a deterrent. Intelligence, not force, was shifting the balance. The Xylos watched, astonished, as the dynamic changed. The bear, unnerved by the alien sound, hesitated. Elara pressed her advantage, stepping forward confidently, stones in hand. The bear, faced with an unpredictable opponent, chose self-preservation. With a final snort, it turned and retreated into the forest. Silence returned to the creek. Elara stood alone, adrenaline surging. She had survived. The Xylos' view shifted. The human was no longer prey. A creature with no claws or fangs had forced the apex predator to yield. The Xylos' understanding of power was shattered. Intelligence had triumphed over brute strength. Elara's victory was not of muscle but of mind. The observers began to question everything they thought they knew. The hierarchy of Earth was not as simple as they believed. On the Zalonian bridge, silence reigned as data streamed in. The bear had retreated, the humans stood victorious. The Xylos re-evaluated their models. Physical strength was not the sole measure of dominance. Ilara's actions were a sequence of calculated decisions, emotional control, assertive posturing, and tool use. She had improvised, exploiting the bear's sensory vulnerabilities. The Xylos realized they had measured the wrong things, overlooking the power of the mind. The human brain was the planet's most formidable weapon. Unlike the bear, a human could adapt, innovate, and overcome. This single event forced a complete reassessment of their planetary analysis. Human history was now seen as the rise of a cognitively superior species. Their dominance stemmed from collective intelligence and adaptability. The true apex was not the strongest body, but the sharpest mind. The Xylos' mission had revealed Earth's greatest force: human ingenuity. The Xylos' final report was transformed. Homo sapiens were reclassified, not as fragile anomalies, but as latent apex predators. Their power was cognitive, situational, and limitless in potential. Tool use, adaptation, and unpredictability defined their dominance. The Xylos now viewed humanity with respect and caution. Humans had conquered the wild not by strength, but by outthinking every challenge. Their legacy was written in knowledge, not just DNA. Ilara's actions embodied the unpredictable, creative force of her species. As the Xylos departed, they marked Earth as the home of the mind's true power. The most formidable creature was not the one with claws, but the one with boundless ingenuity.